real life COVID-19 cooking. Here I am making beef and broccoli. I want you guys to see this. Beef and broccoli. In this pan, I have sauteed about 2 pounds of meat. You could get any beef. Bola de res is really good. Beef round, it's called. So get about 2 pounds of that. You must let the meat sit with about half a teaspoon of cornstarch and like 1 teaspoon of water. You integrate that very well, and then you grill that. You saute it in a pan with olive oil. Don't overdo it with the oil because then it'll be too soggy. So into the pan, I sauteed the meat very well. It got nice and brown. And then right before the liquid stops and just evaporates, I like to add 1 garlic. I only add 1 garlic because I'm sensitive to my stomach. So I added 1 garlic, very finely chopped. And then I also added a very large onion, almost 1 whole large yellow or white onion. I prefer white, flavor-wise. Then you grill this. You start to see that the onion is caramelizing and it's starting to wilt. Then you will add as much veggies as you want. I'm adding, I would say this is a good 3.5 cupfuls of broccoli and my carrots. Reasons why I'm adding these veggies first is because these vegetables are harder to cook. They're much firmer. They're in the brachyphyllid family. Broccoli, carrots take a little longer to saute and cook. I'm hiring my heat just a little bit. As you can see, I've now hired it to medium heat. I'm really mixing these in well. And then I'm just gonna let it rest. I'm leaving it there for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then I will come back. I have now stirred it a little bit. As you can see, the veggies are starting to wilt a little bit. They're starting to look more cooked. We're not going for that full cooked effect. We're going to be adding our mushrooms now. And at this point, I have just lightly salted this with about half of a teaspoon of salt and about 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. The reason why we are not salting this too much is because we are going to be adding soy sauce. This is just something that I bought. It's not my preferred brand. You can buy any soy sauce, low sodium, whatever you like. I'm adding the mushrooms in now. Mushrooms do not take a long time to cook. So we're only going to be letting them cook for about 1 minute. I'm going to stir them into here so they're nice and integrated into the pan. And here I have about 1 cup of brown sugar. And I'm going to add about 1 cup of soy sauce. We're going to see what that looks like. It's a lot of soy sauce. That's why you don't want to add that salt. Don't be scared. It's going to taste very good. In the end, if you need a little salt, you can adjust to taste. You honestly might not even need any salt after you add this. Those flavors marry. We're doing a 1-to-1 ratio. We let that sit. We quickly grate the ginger. I'm not going to grate a fresh piece of ginger. This is a relatively large piece of ginger. You don't have to do this. I prefer ginger, so I will. This is a microplane grater. It's amazing. You need to get one. Great stuff, amazingly tiny. You can use this for garlic and nutmeg, any other spice that you use. So I'm going to do about half of that ginger for now. And then I'm going to add that soy sauce. Mix it. Integrate those flavors. Then I'm going to add my mixture for that soy sauce. I want you guys to see what that looks like before I add. This is what you should have. Look at the onion, look at the colors. Now I'm adding the mixture. very thick, so just different when you make it at home. You know, you follow these recipes, sugar, you think about those flavors marrying together with the soy sauce, those salts, acids. You want to give this a good stir. You want to higher the heat just a little bit. You're getting all those flavors to cook together thoroughly. This will not cook much longer after you have added the soy sauce, so you want to make sure all those flavors are together, cooking, high heat. Get everything integrated together. And what I like to do is I like to make a very small well in the middle. For those of you who like a thicker beef and broccoli, I know I do. And then in the middle, I take advantage to grate the rest of that ginger. As much as I can, at least. This one seems a little hard to grate. Probably a little dry. Now in the middle, at high heat, I have made a well, and I will add about 1 teaspoon of that cornstarch, and I will quickly mix, and that will just make your consistency for your sauce thicker. It will bind everything together. Don't be afraid to use cornstarch. It's actually very versatile, and you give everything a nice high heat swirl. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you have your beautiful beef and broccoli. You can let it cook for up to 5 minutes at high heat, just to make sure all of those flavors are getting married into their cooking. And then you turn this off and leave it. And then your rice cooker is here. I hope you have a rice cooker. The rice is already done, it's at warm. So we are waiting, and then we will lay this beautifully on a bed of white rice. I like to use this type of rice seasoning. So what I do when the rice is done cooking, I add a little bit of rice vinegar, about 1 tablespoon, even up to a tablespoon. You stir your rice very well. Do not add salt or anything else. You will already have your salt here. Your bed of white rice with that rice and vinegar. You add a couple sprinkles of this. It's very delicious. It gives your rice that pizzazz. And then you add beef and broccoli on the top, and you're done. You have a great dinner or lunch. I hope you guys enjoy my recipe. Please like it if you do.